Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts, and I'm your host, Patrick Cristiano. We are coming to you from the LTV studio in East Hampton. I'm the publisher of TheaterLife.com, a website for theater buffs in New York City and the Hamptons. And today I have a special guest, Katherine C.H.E., a singer-songwriter. Thank you for coming on, Katherine. How are you?
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm great, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And you just had a show at Stephen's Talkhouse this past Thursday.
I did.
Yeah, how did it go?
It was great. It was really a lot of fun.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, I brought in a friend of mine who is originally from South Africa. His name is Bagiti Kumalo. He played bass for me.
What, say it again?
Bagiti Kumalo.
What a name.
I know, isn't it great? And he has been playing bass for Paul Simon for a long time. He played on the Graceland album. And,
oh, wow.
And this is the first time we've been trying to find time to perform together live, and we finally got to do it. And I think now we have a lot more projects coming up. So he played bass with me, and then Liam Sullivan, a local fellow, he came back and played drums again for me. And the three of us just really clicked nicely, and I had so much fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Did you record it?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
cool.
So I'll be posting little snippets.
Oh,
yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what are some of the songs you did?
Well, let's see. We did a number of my songs. We did about 18 songs altogether. So I came out and did a few solo, slow, sweet, soft songs. And then we picked up the pace, and we did... the first song we did was 99 Red Balloons, which I used to go dancing to, and I always thought I knew what it was about. But once I learned the lyrics to that song, I discovered it's a very dark song. And so we kind of played it midway between the perky Lena.
This is interesting. What did you think it was about? And then what did you discover that it was really about?
Well, you know, the chorus is 99 red balloons, you know, go by. And I would hear little snippets like, you and I in a little toy shop. So it seemed kind of youthful and innocent and sweet. And so I just thought it was fun about little, you know, red balloons floating by in the sky. You know, I wasn't really paying a lot of attention. But it's about the end of the world. It's about nuclear holocaust. It's a really heavy-duty song. So that this war machine is identifying these balloons children have released in the sky as being, you know, the enemy, and, you know, destroy the world. Very sad. But so we did that song, but we did it kind of midway between the way Lena had done it and the way, you know, super slow and super sad. So we kind of did it in mid-range. And then I counterbalanced that. The next song we did was a song I wrote called Be the Peace. And
Be the Peace.
Be the Peace. And that comes out of my philosophy of, you know, really being the change you want to see in the world. And usually that boils down to either being more peaceful or being more loving. And so that's kind of what the song sings about. And so it kind of counterbalanced the whole war machine looking for an enemy to instead look for peace and look for love.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I subscribe to that myself.
Excellent. Good.
You know, but, which is interesting because now you're from Nashville.
Yes.
And you're a former lifestyle coach.
Yes.
So you've channeled some of this into your music, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't. And I used to teach meditation. So I had two songs. You know, that Be the Peace, we performed it kind of very meditatively. It's almost like a chant. It's very repetitive. And I talk about my philosophy in the show. And then later, a song that I think you like is what I call a sexy meditative medley that I do, a song that I wrote about kissing, and Prince's song Kiss that I put together as a medley. So, you know, you can take a meditation teacher out of the meditation studio, but there's always going to be some kind of aspect of that in everything that I do, I think, because it's just a part of who I am.
Well, I think it also grounds you, makes you even fuller and richer and better, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, you know, I'm curious because the C.H.E. Yes. And your name, those are letters with periods.
Yes.
After each of them. And what does it mean?
Well, it's all of my names, all of my families. And I used to have the whole thing. I would use the whole thing. And on my passport, it still has all of those names.
What are they?
I don't really talk about what they are because I want people to really identify just with the C.H.E. And so one is my mom's family, one is my dad's family, and one is my son's dad. So it's all kind of...
Is it in that order? The C is your mom's family, the H is your father's family, and the E is your...
Yeah,
father
my son.
Of your son.
Yeah, the father of my son. Exactly.
Okay,
and I couldn't pick one, you know, which family. So I wanted all of them, and this is my way, a little bit more streamlined than saying all of them all the time.
But this is your all of these things.
Yes, yeah, they're all a part of who I am. And then the Katherine, well, that's the me part.
The center.
Yeah.
You know, and when you were a lifestyle coach, you wrote this book here. Can we show the guests this book? Can you zoom in on this? Here? That's me. Here we go. Let me straighten it out for you.
So be true, rich. Woo! 3 simple keys to live your good life now.
So what are the 3 keys to live your good life now?
The 3 keys are environment, mindset, and support. And your environment has to do with everything in your life. It's even kind of the thoughts that you're thinking, but you know, when I focus in a little bit more on the mindset, but it's the friends you have in your life. It's the books that you read, the TV shows that you watch. It's how neat you keep your house and your room. It's everything about your environment. And then your mindset are the thoughts that you think. And then the support, it's, you look for the support within yourself, but also understanding and recognizing who the people are in your life who are supportive and who are not, and really who to let into your most inner circle are the ones who are the most supportive, and you know, kind of making choices based on that.
I'm just curious, how do you determine who's the most supportive?
Well, you know, there's no one thing, but when you know someone is supportive when they are cheering you on for what you want to do, and who are seeing with you the vision that you have for where you want to go, and yes, you can do it. And the ones who are not being supportive are the ones who are bringing up all the ways that you might not make it, all the ways that things could go wrong, all that, you know, most of us don't need someone on the outside telling us those things because we have little voices in our head that are doing that often.
We know
enough.
already.
We know already.
All the things that could go wrong.
And it's much more helpful if you know, to move in a positive direction in your life, to have people who see that positive aspect as well.
So you grew up in Nashville.
I did.
And you used to sing around campfires when you were a little girl, and you played the guitar then too.
I did.
So you've been just waiting to do this music thing all this time?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had that inner singer in there wanting to get out, but I was painfully shy when I was a little girl, just painfully shy. And
you know, I have a theory. I think the people that are painfully shy make better performers because there's a vulnerability that's attached to what they do that you never, even though when you're painfully shy and you learn how to do what it is you need to do, you never lose that little bit of shyness underneath, and it makes you more vulnerable and interesting, I think.
I love that theory.
Yeah.
I really love that theory.
So run with it.
Yeah, I'm going to run with that theory.
And I mean, and I saw that in your Stephen, I saw a little clip of something on YouTube that you did at Stephen's Talkhouse. Your previous performance, not this recent performance, and it was really dynamite. I mean,
thank
just
you.
terrific. So
Thank you.
I hope you had an equally wonderful show this time.
Thank you.
But you've also you've got an album that you wrote?
Yeah. So my first CD that I released it.
Here it is. Here. It's called the Campfire Sessions.
Campfire Sessions CD. I released that last summer or last fall, and it's 9 songs that I wrote and then 2 traditional songs that I also included in there. And the notion was to take things back to a simpler time and place. Like for me, the touchstone is sitting around a campfire singing songs.
Right.
And so I even mixed in sounds of crickets and sounds of the campfire into all of the songs on the CD. So I released it last fall, and it hit #1 on Amazon for singer-songwriter in the singer-songwriter category. Just a couple days after I released it. Oh, #1 in folk category, #2 in singer-songwriter.
Yeah, number 1 in folk category. And it's available on Amazon, iTunes, and Apple, and you can stream it on Spotify.
Yes.
Yeah, so anybody who wants to. Let's play one of your songs. From your CD, I have If I Had a Wish.
Okay.
If I had one wish, this is what it would be. I would show you your future so that you could see. Your future is bright. Things may be tough today, but your tomorrow's alright. Your tomorrow's alright. In my own life, I've had rough times too. If I could go back and hug me, I'd do that too. That's what I would do. If I had one wish, this is what it would be. I would show you your future so that you could see. I wish I could show you the you in my eyes. You're magnificent, no one can deny. If I had one wish, one single wish. If I had one wish, one single wish. Don't let the haters make you doubt. Hang on to your love, just let it pour out. Don't let those gremlins get you down, 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 down. You control only you, with a smile beneath their frown. In my own life, I've had rough times too. If I could go back and hug me, I'd do that too. That's what I would do. If I had one wish, one single wish. If I had one wish, one single wish. I wish I could show you the you in my eyes. You're magnificent, no one can deny. If I had one wish, this is what it would be. I would show you your future so that you could see. I wish I could show you the you in my eyes. You're magnificent, no one can deny. If I had one wish, this is what it would be. I would show you your future so that you could see.
Wonderful. That's very
Thank you.
inspirational.
Well, thank you very much.
Very. You could see it comes from a life coach a little bit.
Yes, a little bit. You know, and we did that show. We did that song in the show at the Talk House. But that song was actually inspired by a story on my little guilty pleasure TV show, Dancing with the Stars. I don't know if you ever watched that, but there was a gal who was talking about how she'd been bullied when she was about 12 years old, and she looked right into the camera and she had tears in her eyes, and she said, "I just wish I could go back and tell that little girl that everything's going to be okay." And that really touched my heart. I thought, you know, we all go through those moments where, you know, looking back, we can say, wow, you know, if I'd only known then, you know, things are going to get better. And so that's what inspired that song.
Oh. It also sounds like a wonderful message from a mother to her son.
There you
I mean,
go.
something that he could always kind of, you know, take and carry with him.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. So how there are 11 songs, did you say, on this?
Yes,
And
11
Did you
songs.
write them all? Or,
I wrote 9 of them, and then
you
2 of
told
them
me
are
that before,
traditional.
so-
Yeah, that's fine.
what are the 2 traditional ones?
Wabash Cannonball is one, and I actually wrote one of the verses as an ode to my grandfather because he was a railroad man. And the other is House of the Rising Sun,
Oh, I love that song.
which is I do the old folk version, kind of in a waltzy way, not the animals, you know, that they turned it into more of kind of a pop rock thing. Yeah.
The Animals really did a number on it.
Yeah, and I love what they did, but this is the old school, back to the...
I love this, what you've written on your album. When it seems the world is going a little crazy, it's time to sit around a campfire and make some music.
Yeah.
And you can do that with Katherine and her Campfire Sessions.
Yeah. Yeah, so even in that song that we just played, you could hear the crickets and the sound of the fire. It goes through the whole CD.
So you produced it?
Yes. Yeah.
You
yeah.
produced this too, and did you sing on location or did you do it in the studio?
Well, I played around with it a number of different ways. I actually, the first couple songs, I did some recordings literally sitting outside with the crickets going and the campfire going, and getting that balance was just very difficult.
Yeah,
so I ended up,
what I was asking you.
I ended up recording them separately. I did all the recording, and then I also, for Wabash, I got up at 4 in the morning and recorded a train coming through to get the train sounds. And I thought, well, 4 in the morning, but I'd forgotten it was summer in the Hamptons, and so there were still like people driving by in cars who still have been out partying, and they were quite loud. So I had to try that a number of times before I got a clean recording of the train coming through.
Nothing is
Life
easy.
in the Hamptons, right?
Nothing's easy. Nothing's easy.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Very simple. So it's just me, my voice, the crickets, and the campfire, and then the train on the one track. Yeah.
So have you all your life wanted to kind of step out and do this, or have you thought about it? Did you not think about it? Did you bury? How did that?
It was really
tell me what
buried.
your process was
It was really buried. That's a good question. It was buried for a long time. I think that sometimes when you have a dream that you don't go for, and you don't think you're ever going to go for, it would be too painful to be thinking about it every day. So I really had buried it. And then when my son was born, he was really colicky, which means he was crying all the time, basically. And it's a fancy term for just he was crying all the time. And the only thing that would soothe him was if I had one of those big physio balls, and I would sit on it and I would bounce, and that would soothe him a little bit. But if I bounced and I sang at the same time, I could sing or bounce, and that would do a little. But if I did them both at the same time, it would calm him right down. So for about 6 weeks when he was born, I was singing and bouncing. Like if he wasn't sleeping or eating, I was singing and bouncing. And so I was singing the same songs over and over again, and I was playing around with them and playing with the vocals, and it reminded me of how much I love to sing. And so that was really the first step that got me back into singing. So it wasn't my son.
So it was actually putting it into action. So taking your memory of it and putting it in with your son. It was the bonding experience with your son.
Yeah, that's right.
Gave you your new direction.
And you never know. I mean, it's very difficult. When you're a child, he's my only child. So he's my first son, and I was new to this, and you want to be able to soothe your child, and so at first it was very, very stressful, but then I discovered there was this whole miracle that came out of it was getting me back into singing. So, and I think that life brings us a lot of occasions like that. If we allow ourselves to be open to seeing the good in them, then there can be some amazing things that come out of tough times.
I mean, that's really a life lesson to be open all the time to the things that happen, so you can adapt to whatever needs to happen. And I find that amazing.
Yeah.
And since I've been doing this show, one of the interesting things that came up, there were so many people that went in a different direction because of things they couldn't do, limitations, or just any interesting things that this came their way. It makes me think there is a real destiny that we don't give much credence to. I mean, today in the world, it isn't something that we really give a lot of thought to.
There's another song on my CD called I Am a Winner. And,
I love it.
And this is the notion that I believe we all are winners, and that we all have not just one. And this is another thing I talked about at my show is if you have got to go for it. But I think that we all have winners inside of us, ourselves. And, follow your heart, but you've just got to dive in and give it everything you've got. And the example I gave in my show was, the runner, Usain Bolt. He busted through all these world records, and he won gold medal after gold medal after gold medal, and he just retired. So is he going to just skate and coast on his fame? He could, but if he applies that same energy that he applied to running, to some new venture,
Right,
it'll be
exactly.
amazing to see, you know, what he does next. So I don't think that we all just have one thing. I think that we have a number of them. But the key, I think, is to really, you know, go with your heart and just go for it.
Yeah, trust your instincts. Now, you also have your own show here
Yes.
on LTV. It's called Music in the Hamptons, am I
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
And when does your show air? Do you know?
4 times a week. It airs 4 times a week.
But they can find you on how's it listed? How do they find you?
Music in the Hamptons.
Music in the
Katherine C.H.E.
Hamptons. There you go.
Yeah.
Music in the Hamptons, and you can check out. Do you do a new show every week?
I have done 54 shows.
Wow.
And
How long?
Yeah, in a couple of years. And so there's some that are, when I don't have a fresh show, we show some reruns. But, you know, my goal has been to, you know, keep some fresh ones coming in all the time. So basically I interview local musicians or musicians who spend a fair amount of time here. And we talk about usually the roots of their music, where, you know, where it started. And they sing usually 3 songs on the show.
Oh, wow.
And then sometimes
you get
we'll
live,
even,
you get them to perform live. That's really,
and then
that's daring, isn't it?
it's fun, yeah. And then we do one often together at the end. So it's,
Are people apprehensive to sing on television, or do they welcome it?
so far they've been welcoming it, yeah.
Oh, you've got
I mean,
the
most of
Midas
the
touch.
people who I have, well, thank you, the people who I've been inviting, you know, are real pros for the most part. And
Okay.
so we're very comfortable performing whenever, wherever. Yeah.
So who's your next guest on your show?
Well, I had thought Bagiti Kumalo was going to be, we were going to film a new episode in a couple of days, but I just got a text saying he won't be able to come back to town right now. So I have another couple people in the pipeline. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, but when you make choices like that and you play with your A-list, it's hard to get them all the time. You have to be prepared to adapt.
Prepared to adapt,
Adaptation
exactly.
is the key to all success, don't you think?
I believe it is.
In the moment. So you have another album planned, or?
Well, I'm working on, there are a couple of different concepts that I'm working on, but I think that my next album is going to be about love. I love talking about love. I love singing about love. And I also believe that songs have a lot of power. Like that kissing song, I guarantee if you listen to it, if you sing it, you will draw delicious kisses into your experience. And so I would like to draw into my life, you know, a legendary love, you know, the love of my life. And so I thought, well, what better way to do that than to do a whole CD of love songs?
So you're ready to get married again?
I am definitely open to that. I am not ready because I haven't met the fellow, but.
But that was a mistake of mine. I don't mean ready, but you're actually thinking you might get married again if the opportunity
Absolutely.
presents itself to someone that's really special.
Absolutely.
Right? You've kissed enough frogs.
Yes. Still waiting for them to turn into princes. Where are my princes?
You know what? I'm curious. How did you get from Nashville to Amagansett?
Yeah.
That's via Washington, D.C. and
Washington.
Georgetown University.
Well, it is kind of a circuitous journey. But one thing that's interesting to me about that is Ama I have Cherokee heritage, and Ama in Cherokee means water, and Ama it must have been a local language, also means good water, because Amagansett means the place of good water. My grandfather's from a town in Tennessee called Sweetwater, Tennessee, and so there's this kind of, I think Amagansett may have been calling me my whole life. But I grew up in Nashville. Then as a family, we moved to North Carolina. I was there for a couple years. And then I went off to college in Georgetown. I'd always loved Washington, D.C. And so I stayed there for a long time until I met the man who I married, the father of my son, who's now a very good friend of mine. And he couldn't live in Washington. So there was really, if we were going to get married, we had to live in New York. And we did the back and forth thing. So I lived in Manhattan. I was based there, but I was back and forth and fell deeper and deeper in love with being out here. So when the marriage started to crumble, it just seemed natural to me to be here rather than there. That's how.
So now you've been producing the music for 3 years. How long has this been part of your active lifestyle that you said when your child, what your child's name is?
His name is Jake.
When Jake was just a baby, you started singing again, and you were.
Well, it was very private then. Still, I mean, I would sing around the house, but I was just starting to, you know, reconnect with the joy of singing, and so it took a number of years before before I dared to get up in front of people and sing. And I remember the very first time, it was at a local jam, and I was horrible. I sang off key, I forgot the words, but I didn't die. You know, it's like this horrible thing that you fear. Like everything that could have gone wrong, it went wrong. And then I thought, oh, okay, but I didn't die. And the people, you know, didn't flee screaming, you know, so from there, I've improved, I hope.
Yeah, well, that's what I was looking for, how long it kind of took you to
well, I don't know.
But you answered it,
Yeah.
how long it took you to put it out there that this is something you'd like to continue to do. Now, what's your website? Because you're running a contest, you're giving a free trip to Nashville on your website, so maybe the viewers want to check in. What is it?
It's Katherine C.H.E. Music, all one word, KatherineCHEmusic.com.
You go check in her website, and maybe you'll win a trip to Nashville.
Yeah.
We're going to go off the air. We only have a couple of minutes left, and we're going to play another one of Katherine's songs called In The Hamptons.
Going to the beach or just taking a drive. I'm finally in the Hamptons, you know I've arrived. I'm in the Hamptons. Oh la la baby, in the Hamptons. All week long I've been praying for some sun, 'cause when I'm in the Hamptons I just wanna have fun. I'm in the Hamptons. Oh la la baby, in the Hamptons. You can call me up, number 631. I'll be chilling in my hot tub when the day is done. I'm in the Hamptons. Oh la la baby, in the Hamptons. Texting all day, you know it's alright. We're gonna find the very best party tonight. We're in the Hamptons. Oh la la baby, in the Hamptons. Gala after gala, band after band, making love to my baby in a lifeguard stand. We're in the Hamptons. Oh la la baby, in the Hamptons. Never seen so many stars shining in the sky, or just hanging on the beach, and you know that's why we're in the Hamptons. Oh la la baby, in the Hamptons. We got fancy cars, A-list movie stars. We got sunshine, we got fine wine. Farm stands, hot bands, windmills, cheap thrills, billionaires, firemen's fairs. We got Martha, Madonna, and Uma too. We got McCartney the puppy, and what about you? Head out toward the sunrise on Route 27. Cross the canal, you've arrived here in heaven. In the Hamptons. Going to the beach or just taking a drive. You're finally in the Hamptons, you know you've arrived when you're in the Hamptons. Oh la la baby, in the Hamptons. Oh, 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 yeah. Ha ha.